everybody, I am Yvonne with Back to Earth Creations, and I wanted to take you guys on a quick, this is the short version. We have the full version of the Rearrange documentary about hoarding over on the Vonster vlog, but I just wanted to give you guys hopefully a quick little before and after of what we've been up to this past, sorry, dog's hitting the tripod, but a before and after of what we've been up to this past month. That we haven't really been posting videos, just to prove that we were being productive somehow, but I'm very excited to share this with you guys. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, things are going to look a little distorted because I've got it on a fisheye lens just so you can see everything. Hey Millie dog. So this is when I step in my front door. This is where we go up to the living quarters. This is this. Those are my dad's old magazine racks that I use for storing everything. We have our small tool chests. This one's for paint, that one's for polymer clay. All of this stuff here in this corner. So this is the front craft room. Currently the Christmas tree up because 'tis the season. Little Blue, our bead kiln with my glass stuff, and the glass tool chest, the glass station, the bead wall. My metal smithing desk. This stuff is just kind of left over. Also, y'all are a bunch of lunatics on my main channel who sent me a bunch of plastic bread. And then my friend Sabea sent me a bunch of bananas, and then someone else sent me some fake garlic. Like, it... And also the best socks in the whole wide world because they make it look like I have chicken feet. But this is facing, forward out of the house. This bookcase should still be here. So this is the main front room. Oh, little Millie dog. Oh, you're such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes. And then little Ember cat. Yep, she just there. Comf in her little bed. Don't mind all the fur. We were gone for like a week. So again, that was a quick tour of the front craft room. Why is that light turning on and off? Huh. So weird. Okay, so we're coming around, and then this is the main craft room. This is our shipping station where we do fulfillment and all that jazz. It's honestly, it looks like a disaster, but it's the best organized part of this whole house. So coming around now, we have our kiln. Millie destroyed her pet bed that was in her kennel while we were traveling, but that's Big Blue, our fusing kiln with the two tool chests. That this is not moving and that is not moving, nor is my beautiful Randy who's checking lottery tickets. And so yeah, this is where our new main craft station is going to be. So that's this wall. And then coming around, you can see this is Randy and I's desk areas. Then coming past through here, there's the break room / kitchen that we're still working on. And then this is the forge room, as it was, oh, Millie's playing with her bones, but forge room. So we come in here. These two towers are going to be getting swapped so that, we can access this shelving from the kitchen side as well. More overflow pantry, which I need to check and make sure that we got to -21. Okay, it seems like none of my canned goods froze. That's our pantry closet. That's going to get, it has crafting in it, but it also has a bunch of food in it. I'd like to make it just completely just food, so we could move all this stuff on into there. There's our busted glow boards. Let me get some more lights on in here. And then there's Ken, Barbie, and Bertha. So yeah, we're gonna be, let me back up so that we can see. There's this room. I know, Millie, it's a mess. And then peeking out into the rest of the house. So this is what we're starting with, you guys. Let's get to it. If you're into that, I know that I've been watching a bunch of other videos on YouTube about folks doing similar things, like doing the difficult work of purging their possessions and like completely changing their homes to better suit them, and it's like it's very tumultuous a little bit. I mean, it's chosen, so you know, you have that element of like, I decided to do this. It's not like, you know, a travesty has forced me into moving or forced me into doing this, but it was a long time coming. So watching other people organize helped me to get inspired to organize my situation. So here we are. What took, and I wrote notes as I was going through all of this. So what seems to have been a transformation that took only 3 weeks is actually a seed that was planted about 2019. I started doing Fly Lady zone cleaning, and of course went completely like into it, and like, I mean, it helped. Things got cleaned that hadn't been cleaned in like years. Looking at you, stairs banister. But I needed to practice consistency. And so I started just trying to be consistent about keeping my sink shined and about working on my immediate workspace. And let me address my notes. Yeah, did zone cleaning, which I was not perfect at, but progress was being made. Every day was practicing discipline and mindset. Those are major, because my sense of self, I'm just going to stick to the notes really. My sense of self needed to transform from I am a messy person to I am trying to be more organized to, over the course of like 3 years, I am an organized person. I like being organized. My house is just a disaster. Like, I was able to make that transition of mindset from I'm just a slob, I'm just a messy person, I'm just chaos, this is life. Where I was pretty miserable. Like, I was having fun when I was having fun, but I mean, when I'm starting to like have piles of my crap fall on me, that because I'm trying to find like my bead tweezers or something. But making that transition to I am an organized person. I am capable of being organized and putting something back where it goes. I just need to make a home for it first. I have too much stuff. So this slow weeding of my mental garden enabled me to know where I tend to self-sabotage and how to navigate around or through those tendencies. And so it's like, if I know that I'm a pile builder and that I'm gonna need a spot to just kind of hide something, that's why I have so many of these like little sets of drawers and like bins and stuff, is because I can just put stuff in it and then stack them, but it's organized, and it gets it, at least contains the clutter into a spot. So progress, not perfection. And I have a side note here of it's easier to succumb when you agree with what is challenging you. So whenever my house is a complete disaster and I would be like, I'm just a slob, then it's like, yeah, I'll just live like this. You know, even though it was making me unhappy, and I'm not judging your mess. Like, if you're sitting at home and you're looking around like, I'm feeling kind of attacked because you've got your piles, and like, if you're like me and you make like a little nest every time you stay still for 5 minutes, I'm not judging. I had reached the point where it was so uncomfortable I had to change for me. That's the only reason to do anything. So it's not because I don't clean my house when company's coming over. If you're coming over to my house, you know I'm a mess. So I'm not being judgy. Like, I don't want anybody to feel like I'm being a jerk about it. And it's like, no, I was just very unhappy in my house. I couldn't clean my house. There's too much stuff in it. And like, I didn't want to have to keep taking allergy pills just to live in my own home. So that being said, hey guys, the heater's going, so it's quite loud, but I did want to show you guys how it looks in the craft rooms in the evenings after the sun is set. So let's get the camera flipped around, and I'm gonna make it big. And so we turn our grow lights off at night for the tropicals and for the indoor plants, but that's the editing bead corner. Excuse me, no. This is the couch that we finally got built, and I am very, very pleased with it. But the lampwork glass area, Randy's enjoying himself this evening. We still have the shipping station is more or less unchanged, which is fine. And then there's the kiln, the art corner, the jewelry desks and stuff, but I just absolutely love the lighting in here. Like, it makes me super duper happy. Hey guys, so we have more or less finished the rearrange, at least to the major part of it. It is ongoing because entropy just creeps back in, and I regrow piles and different stuff, so I'll talk to you about it. Let's go ahead and flip this around and get going with the tour of how it looks now. So just to take you through, well, hey Ember Kitty, to take you through the same tour as before, we did not change very much in this corner. We did move the coat rack from here to hanging over that door, just because it decongested. Let me make it big. Just because it decongested this whole like foyer area. Still upstairs, living quarters. And now we come into the front craft room. I don't have any of the lights on right now, but at about 8 a.m. is one of my favorite, like, absolutely love sunrise in this room now. I'm gonna start over here. This bookcase, not organized, work in progress, but this over here is more or less how it's gonna be. Like, nothing's ever, you know, permanent. Everything's gonna evolve and change. We're really pleased with the new couch, mostly because the critters have a place to sit and we have a place to come and sit with them. And got the lamp workstation set up. Again, this is not the final table. We do have ambitions to build a custom like glass bench, but there's one of the stained glass pieces we had been saving for our forever home that we still have a dream on the horizon of, but we're very happy to be here. Now, I really like, we've got our boxes for shipping, a little bit of overflow kit projects for on our website, and then our glass rods, our bead kiln. And over here, we have the editing and beading corner. A little bit more bead storage over here as well, and that's kind of where the tripods just float around. I am very pleased with this spot. One, the whole house slopes to this corner. So if you're in that room, the whole room slopes to that corner. So it was a little troubling to sit in my computer chair and just always slide. So these little grippy rugs were a really great addition. I'm still organizing, like we've got some empty jars here on this shelf. Some empty jars over here, but I still need to organize all this stuff, and then still need to organize basically down to like this shelf. So, but again, it's more or less the bones are in place and we are able to resume work. Also, I decided to just go with the organizer on this side. I didn't need one on that side. I'm like, I don't need that much stuff next to my desk. Because if I have little cubbies, I will fill them, clearly. Still haven't completely finished going through the rainbow cart either, but again, that's all right. You can hear Millie, she's still out on the porch, but our shipping station remains productive chaos. That's fine. And then we hung that dragon head right there. But again, I really, really dig it. And then that's it during the day without the lights on. And I have the switch over here. That's it with the lights on. It just brightens up the darker corners of the room and puts a little magic on it. I'm gonna go let the doggy in and then we'll get back to it. Good morning, little dog. Yeah. Oh, sweet baby. Okay. So we come in here into the main craft room now. Again, shipping station is the same. Still haven't completely tidied up the kiln area, but it's at least functioning again. Randy's workstation remains unchanged. We've got, this is mostly storage and overflow for stuff that I do like to use quite frequently for polymer clay, fairy houses, and leather working. And then Here's some more of our cabochons and stuff. So again, not every single little drawer has been meticulously gone through yet. I figure if I tackle a drawer a week moving forward, just throughout the rest of my life, probably, that'll be fine. Again, Randy and I both have our own little rolly mats, just because the wheels of the chairs were starting to tear up the wood floor too. So I was able to get some crafting done at my craft desk. So I'd originally thought that we were going to do the pegboard horizontally here, but that ended up being just the perfect spot for my polymer clay drawers. And then we have some more drawers right here that are accessible that I normally keep my cabochons in, but I may be replacing all the labels on them. And then we've got our work in progress drawers over here with some more wooden beads. Still working on fine-tuning the organization over here, but we've got decorative stuff that I use as thermoplastic molds primarily for all the skulls. Like, I like to use them for shaping thermoplastic and leather over. A bunch of our resins, some more of our sculpting stuff. Chain, metalsmithing stuff, more metalsmithing stuff. Still have not found a spot for these stack. I think I'm going to have to reorganize them into something that fits into a drawer better. And then little baby cuckoo. And the houseplants seem way happier. Tea for whenever we do our live streams together. And again, drawing this out was probably one of the best ideas. Like, just planning it on paper first, getting the dimensions of everything, and then planning it. We were going to put the glass on this shelf, but it just worked out a little bit better down here. The easel, our stained glass, like this is excess silk floral that I use in the fairy houses, but it really helped kind of flesh out, you know, instead of naked. So I've got room to grow even. The art corner, like the painting corner, I'm really excited about. This is one of my next paint by numbers that I've got in the lineup that I'm going to try out. And just organizing these carts was like so satisfying. Again, it's not organized by color, like gradient. Just more paint by numbers. Like, I wanted to have it organized, but it's a start. It's at least all in one spot. And then some more paint by numbers, my hot glue, my LED fairy lights. And then bottom drawer is all my candles. And then, which I feel like lighting a candle today. Then we've got this little rack. And then just very utilitarian, but it is what it is. I think I'd like to put some pegboard on this side just for like some little cups and stuff for, I don't know, more storage. And then another tripod, basically. It's a microphone stand that I put extra plate weights on, but it works. And now this room, this is where the light switch is. So on, turns on. This is the thing that I'm probably most pleased about in this room, is having some just freaking mood lighting. Because, and you'll see in the clip that we did of in the evening, it really gently lights the room because we don't have any ceiling fixtures in the house. So, but you know, we didn't always want to have it be harshly lit by work lights. So we can click 1, turns on those 3 lights, 2, turns on that work light for over the shipping station, and then just because I can still reach it, 1, 2, 3, lights up. And so that really helps illuminate the room, especially when the sun, you know, isn't up. Now, the part that y'all are going to be pretty disappointed, because at first this had the most extreme before and after, but then we've had to use it as a staging area. So let me get some lights on in here. So again, just stuff is piling. Hello, pile. We have not tackled the tool room yet. So we have all of this stuff, all of these empty bins, empty drawers, leather, scrap leather tote, are staged here because like the tools here are going to be going into the tool room. That, I don't even know what's in that. All this stuff, I gotta get cleared off because our friends are coming today and we're giving them our old Glowforge because I don't know how to fix it. And I think they might be able to figure it out or make something out of it. So, and then Ken and Barbie still need to go upstairs. But y'all saw how this was before, and there was no hope on these wire shelves before, and now there is actually hope. So it's a work in progress, but, and also I don't know where to put this door. Like, it's a work in progress and we will get there. But with everything else being done, 2 out of 3 is not bad. It is not bad. And then I love my little, our friend had sent us these metal cutouts and they're just perfect for Callie and Sam Dog. And then I've got a bunny one that I'm going to set up outside. But this is how the craft room has changed and evolved, and I'm so excited to be in here and crafting again. Like, just the, to me, original designs, like stuff that I hadn't really experimented with before. Now granted, we also signed up for like a bead box, and so that's really challenged my creativity and helped me like expand a bit. Here, I'm gonna, but just doing some beading, playing with colors, using up some pieces that, like, I'd made this glass moon on my torch like 2 or 3 years ago. Finally got it made into something. So, and then starting, it's feeling really fun to be creative again. And I feel way more creative in this space, you guys, than I did, stressed out before. Like, just having the open. It's so nice. Okay, well, I'm going to get back to it, and we'll do like a proper outro or something. After 2 years of consistently shining my sink, boop, gold star, high five, like, I did it. In today's episode of I cleaned my living room, hooray for me, and other various tales. If I can't give myself a gold star, then what's the point? After 2 years of shining my sink, I read the book Atomic Habits. Very good book. Taking the time to really get to know myself before reading Atomic Habits, I was already aware of how I was self-sabotaging. I was already aware of the consistent pitfalls that would derail me. And like, I had been habit tracking, even the bad ones. So it's like I took time to collect data on myself and look at it and be like, okay, this is where I could use work. This is where I'm going to definitely have to change things if I want to reach my goals, that sort of stuff. Knowing myself before reading Atomic Habits made applying the principles presented by the author much more effective, as I already knew on a first name basis, my destructive tendencies and the direction I wanted to go in. Piggybacking habits was the absolute, like, I take my glucosamine when I brew my coffee, like, get the coffee on brewing, and I pour me and Randy shots of this like horrible joint juice that hopefully will work. Also, I have a side note of sometimes the garden needs planted, sometimes it needs some weeds pulled. So just recognizing in our own lives that we have these cycles that we go through, and sometimes I was in an expansion mode of like accumulating tools and supplies for new skill sets that I'm learning in different things. Now was the time for weeding my garden, internal and external, in my own home. Needed weeded. I needed things pulled out so I can have room to put fresh stuff in. So but yeah, piggybacking habits has been a game changer. Glucosamine during coffee. Every time I use the back bathroom, which is the downstairs bathroom, I clean out the cat's litter box. And it just keeps little things that I know I'm going to do every day. I just pair it with something that's going to need done every day too. So by structuring the small daily things in ways where I don't have to think about it, the habit takes root so much more easily and is much more easy to maintain. Putting like with like and task near task was the biggest thing that I learned from my partner, Randy. My husband, now, sorry, I'm still tickled about that. That was the biggest thing that I learned, was that just put like with like to get it to start to make sense. So I've got all my beading stuff in one corner, and I've got, all my lamp work over in another corner. And so it's, not necessarily all my pliers in the whole house are all in one spot, but that's where it goes to task with task. I've got the stuff that I need for beading plier wise over here, and then I've got the stuff that I need for wire wrapping plier wise over yonder. So yep, let me see. Boop boop boop. I lost my place on the page, so, and I can't read my handwriting either. Like, it's ridiculous. Can y'all read that? I cannot. Yes. Putting like with like and task near task, there is less friction. And that was something, the concept of friction, just any kind of obstacle or resistance between where I am and what I want to have accomplished, or what I'm doing and what I want to be accomplishing, and the me of where and who I want to be and where and who I am now. So the more that I can ease that friction, the better. Every day is a vote cast by my actions. I can actively participate, or I can be a bystander in my own life, and this is not a dress rehearsal. So I've always felt that it's the daily grind that shapes us into who we're going to be and who we're going to become, and the habits that we choose are the grits and shapes of that grinding stone that shapes us. So it's, what is it? They say that like 40% of what we do every single day, I've heard some different stats, but that's just the most recent one. 40% of what we do every day is just habit. And so if we can change even just one habit, like one habit a month, even, to just be a little bit, oh, I'm taking my joint supplement now, or, oh, I'm drinking enough water, or whatever it is that your goals are. Just starting on your habits will really, really help. So I don't know why I'm talking about this now, actually. So no, click that. And then I've got some like charts and stuff. But I don't know if you guys have any questions or anything about any of this stuff. Let me know, and I'll try to be helpful to you. Because this was completely overwhelming. Like, going back and doing the editing on this video, I couldn't believe the state our craft room had devolved into, first off, but also, like, I don't know how I pulled myself together and got through. I know I couldn't have done it without my husband, Randy. Like, every time I bite off more than my fair share, more than I can chew, he saves me from myself and helps me to get it done. And he did, and we did. So that's really good. But there was just so much, and you just gotta, I guess, just do it. Just keep on keeping on and just do the thing. But I have, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't even know where to begin. And then it's like, because that's where I started even a few months ago. I started rearranging the kitchen, and I was like, everything is a problem. Everything is causing friction. Everything is messy and frustrating me. So it's like, what's the lowest hanging fruit? What is something that I touch once a day, 3 times a day, that is, if it were just easier, if there's, like, for me, it was my pink cupboard that I kept all my, like, pots and pans and lids and Tupperware in. First off, that was all in one cupboard, like, just kind of crammed in there. So anytime I needed to cook or put anything away or do almost anything, 2 to 3 times a day, I'm having to root around in that cupboard. Crap's falling on me, loud noises, can't find anything, just frustration. And so I was like, I don't care if nothing else gets done this week. I'm organizing this cupboard, and I did. It was awesome. And now it's like, so now instead of being frustrated every time I have to go into that cabinet, I'm like, ooh. And it manages my momentum. So instead of getting frustrated, I get a little inspired by, like, oh, it's so nice that that lid has a spot that it goes, and that little, like, $5 bamboo rack that holds all the lids, like, boop, just like. And so then I organized my spice cabinet, because again, it's like, I'd love to be able to find what I'm looking for when I'm cooking. And so just kind of managing my momentum from, we can either go into a downward spiral, which is my typical tendency of, the house is a mess, I'm a slob, just being hard on myself and and nothing's getting done, and then there's me sitting in my filth all sad at the bottom of the spiral. Or we can manage our momentum in the other direction and fine tune our habits and our daily lifestyle to take us to where we want to go. And it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but just manage, like, just finding the spots of the most friction, the most frustration or annoyance throughout my day and addressing it. So I have more notes. So it says step one, addressed biggest issues. Too much stuff with no place to go. Lighting hot spots. Like, I'm super sensitive to, like, whenever there's like super bright lights, like I have a guaranteed headache by the end of the day when I'm around like super bright hotspot lights. But if it's more diffused, it's not so bad. And I think I don't know. I don't think that that's weird of me. I think that's just normal. And my house had a lot of bright hotspots because we were over here with like 100-watt bulbs just like glaring at me. And so lighting spots are guaranteed headache by the end of the day and trouble focusing. Plus, I'm lonely. So it's like, because the way that Randy and I's workstations were set up is the stuff that I have the most difficulty focusing on, recording and editing, hello, was directly next to Randy, like his work spot. So the time that I'm like, I need my blinders on and I need to not be distracted and I need to focus because I do not want to keep like having to like edit and like it's so like was directly next to Randy. But then my crafting, where I am available to like hang out and like chat and like be distracted, and I can still be productive because I'm doing something fun, so I like get into the zone and stuff, was in a completely separate room. So two sides of the same coin. I'm unable to focus because Randy and I both miss each other. So we're like trying to talk to each other. And then I'm like, oh my God, it's been 3 hours and I haven't done anything. I have to focus on this. And so that was just a challenge. And then I'd be sitting in here crafting, just being like, hey, what's up? Like, because I mean, we're in the same house, the rooms directly next to each other, but when the heater's on or the air conditioner is on, we can't hear each other. So you can barely hear each other when we're sitting next to each other. So getting those stations flipped really helped solve that. That was an easy fix to just be like, well, let's just swap them. So now I edit and record here in the other room, and I go in there and I craft by him, which is fun. Well, I craft here too, and on the couch, and upstairs. I craft everywhere. You can't stop me. But yeah, and then we made a plan about where we were gonna put the bones of the house, like the structure, like the furniture and stuff. And then we established zones, so that then now we knew where to put like with like. And as you'll see through the through the rearrange, there was a whole lot of moving stuff into different staging areas, but it ended up being, even when the stuff was unorganized still in bins, I was able to say, okay, if it's beading, it goes into this corner. And so it got piled up into this corner until I was able to organize a bit of it. Or it's metal smithing or leather or polymer. It's like, and then we were able to break down within those zones specific storage solutions for each of those things. And sometimes you have to start out messy and unorganized just to be able to learn as you're doing a new skill or a new craft, like how you would need things to be organized. So don't feel like if you're at home and organizing your own situation, don't feel like you have to get it right the first time. This is going to change. It is going to evolve. You're going to burn through some different desk organizers until you find what is perfect. But it's that process of fine tuning it until you just nailed it. And then you'll, if you're anything like me, it's like, well, time to pick up a new hobby, do it all over again. But that's fine. And then we started doing the purges. We did the first purge before I had even started moving anything, where it was just, if I hadn't touched it in 3 years, which I have some crafting stuff that it's like, I've just been hoarding it, literally just hoarding it. If I haven't touched it in 3 years, it needs to go to somebody else's craft room so that they can have fun with it, because I have not been utilizing it. And then that was the easy stuff, to where it's like, yeah, I never did that. I'm not into that anymore, like kind of stuff. So we donated a whole lot of just like old resin molds that I had made, that it's like, if I were to do that project again, I need to resculpt it. I don't need to use that mold that I had made. So like just getting some of those things out. I have a side note here that says you don't have to tackle your whole house. Start with the area you spend the most time in. Practice discipline and consistency, even if you're just putting the TV remote in the same spot when you watch TV. That way, next time you don't have to search for the TV remote, which somehow we did lose one of Randy's controllers. I am afraid we may have thrown it away. Just because we can't find it. Like, uh-oh. So, but anyways, nobody's perfect. And then I am not a naturally organized person, nor had I ever considered myself a creature of habit. The concept of habits always felt confining. I don't want to have to do the same thing the same way every day, was my thinking. If I don't intentionally practice good habits that keep me on track though, then I am still a creature of habit. I'm just a creature of unintentional habits. The daily grind shapes who we become, and the habits we choose are what help us determine the shape and curve. So, see, I took notes. Be as thorough as you can, but don't drown yourself. That's really good advice. But yeah, during the purge, it was, and you don't have to just donate stuff. We've got a local crisis center that, like, when folks are on hard times or like their house burns down or just some travesty happens, um, that's where you can go. And it's really nice that like they've got like a thrift store that you can just go and shop in, and that helps raise funds for the crisis center, and they take donations. So we donate a lot of stuff over at the crisis center, and also that's we save all of our cardboard and stuff, and they've got a baler and they bale them up and sell off these bales of cardboard and things again to help raise funds. But if y'all don't have something like that in your area, you can have a yard sale. You can just put it on Facebook Marketplace. We have like a magic curb where anything that I put out on the curb with a free sign is gone within 30 minutes. So far, it doesn't matter what I put on it doesn't matter what I put out. If it has a free sign on it, it's gone. And I'm like, oh, this is, this is cool. And then donate, gift, or pitch it. Like sometimes you just gotta bury stuff in your backyard or set it on fire. I think that's everything. No, here's another one. The last major rearrange for us was pre-2019, when we were doing around 30 or so vending events per year, either craft shows or conventions. So we were gone a lot. We were still quite new at providing booty boxes, and we had just gotten the kiln. In 2019, I had just gotten my bead kiln. The craft room had grown like some wild thing, beads like seeds sprouting where they landed and being unmanaged piles of chaos. I needed to do some very intentional redesign so creativity could grow without being stunted by all the built up stress. Because it was like, even on like our days off, or days where it's like, I'm just gonna sit and craft today, I felt like it was all blocked up. There was no room to work anywhere. There was no like, and we were in a dark place too. Like we were mourning, our Sam dog had gotten cancer and had had 2 surgeries already. And so it was just like a slow descent that sometimes you don't realize how much you were hurting and how much you were avoiding, and just lean in. Like Randy and I's strategy has always been through everything to just lean into the yoke and work harder, and it's gotten us through so much that it's gotten me through so much that I've had him by my side. But we were just trudging in circles, powering that grindstone, just working ourselves into like this rut of workaholicism that it was finally, we were uncomfortable enough that we were like, it's time to make changes. I don't want to be back to work creations. Because it's back to Earth Creations. Because whenever we chose the business name, I wanted something that didn't lock us down to just doing jewelry or just doing, like I had interest in making candles and soaps and different like home decor and sculptures and I still have all of these interests that can comfortably fall under Back to Earth Creations, kind of canopy. But it had become Back to Work Creations. Everything was feeling like work. And my creativity was, the spring had dried to a trickle of, whereas used to it was just like, blah, like ideas, inspiration, feeling so like excited about crafting and stuff. And that had slowed to a trickle. But yeah, I don't want to be Back to Work Creations. We're working on making inventory. I don't know how many times during videos or during live streams I've said that it's like, yeah, we're working on inventory today. The very slight change in perspective, it becomes, instead of we're working on inventory, with the change of our mindset, and the environment definitely helps. That if you change your environment, you can change your mindset. As now our home is a place where we create art. It's like, this isn't where we work to make inventory. This is our home where we make art, where we create art, where we are creative. Same thing, but is it really? Some differences, some tiny differences can be major. So now that I've rambled for approximately twice as long as I thought I should, that's all of my thoughts on the rearrange. Hey, baby. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on the rearrange?
It's comfortable.
It's comfortable? It's gotten... It went from... What was it before it was comfortable?
It's just what it was.
Uncomfortable?
I guess.
He's very kind. It was a disaster is what it was. But it's comfortable now. Like... It feels functional. I feel so happy. Like, instead of standing in the room and just feeling like kind of stressed with like, which pile do I ignore first? It's which projects do I tackle first? Like, and then I can just dive in. So I think it was a really good thing, and I'm really excited to share the process with y'all, hear y'all's experiences, and if you have any questions, if there's any way that we can be helpful to you, if you have any suggestions for like, I see that you did it like this, have you considered doing it this way? Because I can't wait to rearrange all my crap again, actually. Like, I am so like, maybe I can, like, I'm in fine-tuned mode. I've started pulling weeds and I'm like, gotta get them all. I want to get them all. So having a lot of fun with this. But if y'all have any questions or comments or ideas, please let me know down below. And I really hope that this was coherent. But at least it's done. So if it didn't make any sense and I've just been rambling, thanks for watching, and we will see y'all next time. And thank you for being here, and happy crafting, you guys. Or if it's over on the Monster vlog, keep on keeping on. Bye, guys.